Good evening, my name is Katarzyna Nowicka and welcome to Poland Daily News. Yesterday evening, an agreement was reached concerning the EU budget. Despite earlier threats from the prime ministers of Poland and Hungary, the two countries did not veto the budget. In the conclusions of the summit, representatives of the member states wrote that the sole report on violations of the rule of law won't be enough to block EU funds.
We expect the European Commission to translate the regulations written down in the conclusion into concrete laws, which it will be following. This is what we were after, and to make a clear distinction between the Article 7 and the budget.
However, not all members of the United Right are happy with the compromise.
The decision to adopt a resolution in the budget pact without any legally binding security provisions is a mistake. We consequently and openly warned against such a decision since the July summit of the European Council. The Board of United Poland will now convene to discuss the possible consequences of this outcome.
The second major coalition partner of the ruling Law and Justice Party is of another opinion.
We are right on this. It is the shared stance of the Agreement and Law and Justice parties. We appeal to our partner, the United Poland Party, to stand united with us on this. I believe that responsibility for Poland will prevail. Early elections would be catastrophic for our country.
Politicians of the Law and Justice Party emphasize that despite the difference in opinions, the unified government is still possible. Poland will receive nearly 140 billion euro in EU donations and 34 billion in loans. In an interview for Spiegel Weekly, German Interior Minister Horst Seehofer said that due to the difficult epidemiological situation in Germany, the country is considering the introduction of another lockdown.
According to the Minister of Interior, Horst Seehofer, Germany is considering the introduction of another lockdown due to the difficult epidemiological situation in the country, which requires immediate radical measures. In recent days, Germany has experienced a significant increase in the number of new coronavirus infections. Seehofer said it is crucial to introduce new restrictions before Christmas. In his opinion, the current epidemiological situation in Germany is unsatisfactory, and it undermines the country's previous achievements in the fight against the pandemic. The reason for this state of affairs is seen in the loosening of social discipline and in the government taking inadequate measures to fight the pandemic. The Prime Minister of Bavaria also called for the introduction of a total lockdown in Germany. In his opinion, the restrictions should be introduced just after Christmas for a period of 2 weeks. Moreover, regardless of the decisions of the federal government, the Berlin authorities are planning to introduce their own restrictions on retail trade, among others. Over 28,000 people tested positive for the coronavirus, and 529 more died in Germany in the last 24 hours.
And now let's take a look at the latest data on the epidemiological situation in Poland.
The Polish Ministry of Health reported over 13,000 new COVID-19 infections in the country. 544 more people have died of coronavirus and coexisting diseases. The total number of people who have died since the beginning of the epidemic is 22,174.
Poland will celebrate the 39th anniversary of the introduction of martial law this Sunday. The Institute of National Remembrance came up with a special initiative.
Martial law was introduced illegally and contrary to the Polish constitution on December 13, 1981. Martial law resulted in the internment of over 10,000 anti-communist opposition activists. Nearly 100 people lost their lives. As every year, the Institute of National Remembrance undertakes activities aimed at commemorating the victims of the martial law. For this purpose, numerous programs, lectures, exhibitions, and media campaigns have been prepared. This year, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, most of them will be available via the internet.
That's all for tonight. Now on to Poland Daily Business with Aleksander Wierzejski and his guest. Good night.